The Monday, 3/17/2025. New data breaches and cyber attacks. The past week has witnessed a significant number of data breaches and cyber attacks impacting organizations across multiple sectors. A notable area of concern remains the healthcare industry, which has experienced several large-scale incidents. 4 distinct healthcare data breaches were reported, collectively affecting approximately 560,000 individuals. Further details from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office for Civil Rights Breach Portal reveal additional breaches within the healthcare sector. These include an incident at Hillcrest Convalescent Center, Inc. in North Carolina, impacting 106,194 individuals, and a breach affecting 114,975 individuals at Community Care Alliance in Rhode Island. The nature of these breaches, as reported to HHS, predominantly falls under hacking IT incident, suggesting external threat actors are actively targeting network servers. Vision Upright MRI in California also reported an unauthorized access to disclosure affecting 23,031 individuals. This pattern underscores the persistent vulnerabilities within the healthcare sector and the high value of protected health information for malicious actors. Beyond healthcare, other sectors have also been affected. NTT Communications Corporation disclosed a data breach impacting the information of nearly 18,000 customer organizations. Ransomware continues to be a significant threat, as evidenced by the claim from the Hunters International Group of an attack on Tata Technologies, alleging the theft of 1.4 terabytes of data. The Polish space agency, Polsa, also reported disconnecting its network from the internet to contain a cyber attack. Indian stockbroker Angel One disclosed a data breach involving its AWS account, and the Killin ransomware gang claimed responsibility for an attack on Lee Enterprises. PowerSchool also reported a previous hack in August, months before a more recent data breach. A supply chain compromise involving the popular GitHub action TJ Actions/change files, CVE 2025-30066, has put CI/CD secrets at risk in over 23,000 repositories. Attackers reportedly modified the Actions code and retroactively updated multiple version tags to reference the malicious commit, leading to the potential exposure of sensitive information in publicly accessible workflow logs. These incidents across diverse sectors highlight the pervasive nature of cyber threats and the varied tactics employed by attackers. Several significant cyber attacks have also been reported. The newly discovered Super Black ransomware has been actively exploiting 2 vulnerabilities in Fortinet firewalls. Law enforcement efforts to combat ransomware continue, with the extradition of a dual Russian and Israeli national, Rostislav Panev, alleged to be a developer for the Lockbit ransomware group, to the United States. New malware campaigns are also emerging. Cybersecurity researchers have warned of malicious PyPI packages masquerading as time-related utilities, but containing hidden functionality to steal cloud access tokens. Additionally, a new Clipper malware called Massjacker is targeting users searching for pirated software designed to facilitate cryptocurrency theft by substituting copied wallet addresses. A Belarus-linked threat actor, known as Ghostwriter, is employing malware-laced Microsoft Excel documents to deliver a new variant of Picasso Loader, targeting opposition activists in Belarus and Ukrainian military and government organizations. Microsoft has also shed light on an ongoing phishing campaign targeting the hospitality sector by impersonating Booking.com using the ClickFix technique to deliver credential-stealing malware. These developments illustrate the continuous evolution of cyber threats and the need for vigilance across various attack vectors. Nation-state actors also remain a significant concern, as highlighted by the U.S. Department of Justice's charges against Chinese nationals with ties to the PRC government for a hacking campaign targeting numerous U.S. companies, institutions, and municipalities. Furthermore, a newly patched Windows Zero-Day vulnerability was reported to have been exploited for 2 years prior to the release of the patch. Trends in cybersecurity staffing. The cybersecurity industry continues to grapple with a significant global skills gap. Projections from Cybersecurity Ventures indicate that there will be 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity positions globally in 2025. This shortage presents a considerable challenge for organizations seeking to build and maintain robust security postures. However, this demand also creates substantial opportunities for individuals looking to enter or advance within the cybersecurity field. In an effort to address this gap, nearly half of US-based companies are reportedly planning to replace bachelor's degree requirements in their job advertisements with skill-based criteria. The supply and demand ratio for cybersecurity workers in the United States shows a national average of 83%, indicating that there are only enough cybersecurity professionals to fill 83% of the available jobs. This shortage varies significantly across different regions. For instance, CyberSeek data reveals substantial differences in this ratio among various U.S. states and metropolitan areas. Notably, the cybersecurity job vacancy rate increased by 19% in 2024, with the Midwest region emerging as a significant cybersecurity hub. Cities like Indianapolis, Indiana, and Cleveland, Ohio, have experienced substantial year-over-year job growth in the cybersecurity sector. This growth in the Midwest suggests a potential decentralization of the cybersecurity workforce, moving away from traditional coastal technology hubs. Looking ahead, the demand for cybersecurity professionals is projected to remain strong. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a 33% growth in employment for information security analysts from 2023 to 2033, a rate much faster than the average for all occupations. CompTIA's CyberSeek tool reported nearly 470,000 U.S.-based job openings with cybersecurity-related skills between May 2023 and April 2024, demonstrating broad demand across various job roles. While the skills gap persists, some believe that technologies like generative AI may help alleviate talent shortages, with 86% of CISOs expecting AI to do so. However, the increasing sophistication of cyber threats, including AI-enabled attacks, will necessitate specialized skills in areas such as threat intelligence and incident response. New information security vulnerabilities, patches, and mitigations. The past week has seen the disclosure and patching of several critical security vulnerabilities. Microsoft's March 2025 Patch Tuesday addressed a total of 57 security flaws, including 6 zero-day vulnerabilities that were reportedly being actively exploited in the wild. These include a use-after-free vulnerability in the Windows Win32 kernel subsystem, CVE 2025-24983, and a heap-based buffer overflow in Windows NTFS, CVE 2025-24993. Juniper Networks also released a patch for a critical authentication bypass vulnerability in its Session Smart Router SSR devices. Cisco addressed 10 vulnerabilities in its iOS XR software, including several that could lead to denial of service conditions. A high-severity zero-day vulnerability, CVE 2025-27363, in the widely used FreeType software development library has been reported as being actively exploited. This out-of-bounds write flaw in versions 2.130 and below could allow for arbitrary code execution when parsing certain font files. While a fix was included in FreeType version 2.13.0, released in February 2023, many systems are still running vulnerable versions, and users are advised to update to the latest version, 2.13.3. Furthermore, the newly discovered SuperBlack ransomware has been exploiting 2 Fortinet vulnerabilities, CVE 2024-55591 and CVE 2025-24472, since late January. These vulnerabilities can allow unauthenticated attackers to gain super admin privileges on FortiOS firewalls, Proof of concept exploit code was reportedly released for these flaws shortly before observed exploitation. Critical vulnerabilities have also been identified in Ivanti Endpoint Manager, EPM, CVE 2024-10811, CVE 2024-13161, CVE 2024-13160, and CVE 2024-13159. Proof of concept exploit code and technical details for these absolute path traversal flaws were released by Horizon3.ai on February 19, 2025, despite Ivanti having released patches in January. These vulnerabilities could allow unauthenticated attackers to manipulate the Ivanti EPM machine account credential, potentially leading to server compromise. Mitigation strategies remain crucial in addressing these and other threats. CISA, along with the FBI and MS-ISAC, issued a joint cybersecurity advisory, Stop Ransomware, Medusa Ransomware, providing tactics, techniques, and procedures, TTPs, indicators of compromise, IOCs, and detection methods associated with the Medusa ransomware activity. The advisory recommends immediate actions such as ensuring operating systems, software, and firmware are patched and up to date, segmenting networks, and filtering network traffic. More generally, a layered security approach encompassing security awareness training, strong access controls, network segmentation, and robust backup and recovery plans is essential for mitigating a wide range of cyber threats. Prevalent cyber threats. Ransomware continues to be a dominant threat in the current cybersecurity landscape. The Medusa ransomware group has been particularly active, reportedly impacting over 300 victims from critical infrastructure sectors such as medical, education, legal, insurance, technology, and manufacturing as of February 2025. The FBI and CISA have provided detailed information on Medusa's TTPs and IOCs to help organizations defend against this threat. The extradition of an alleged Lockbit ransomware developer also highlights the ongoing efforts to disrupt major ransomware operations. Phishing and social engineering attacks also remain highly prevalent. A recent campaign utilizing the ClickFix technique demonstrates the evolving sophistication of these attacks, with threat actors impersonating legitimate services like Booking.com to deliver credential-stealing malware, specifically targeting the hospitality sector. Various forms of malware continue to pose significant risks. Malicious packages on the Python Package Index, PyPI, have been discovered stealing cloud access tokens. The emergence of new malware like Massjacker, a clipper designed for cryptocurrency theft, indicates the continuous development of tools aimed at financial gain. Additionally, advanced persistent threat APT groups are employing sophisticated malware such as the Golang-based backdoor used in a recent campaign linked to Russian interests. Emerging cyber threats. The increasing integration of artificial intelligence, AI, into various technologies has also led to the emergence of AI-enabled cyber threats. Threat actors are beginning to leverage AI for malicious purposes, including the creation of AI-driven malware capable of mutating to evade detection and the use of generative AI to craft more convincing social engineering attacks. Scammers are also exploiting the trust associated with AI brands like DeepSeek to harvest personal information or steal user credentials. Cloud environments are becoming a more prominent target for cyber attacks. The campaign involving malicious PIPI packages stealing cloud tokens underscores the growing interest of attackers in compromising cloud resources. The rise in the number of Internet Things, IoT devices, also presents an expanding attack surface. Vulnerabilities in these devices, such as the recently exploited flaw in Edimax cameras, can be leveraged for malicious activities, including the deployment of botnets. Finally, supply chain attacks, exemplified by the compromise of the GitHub action and the potential exploitation of abandoned cloud infrastructure, represent a significant and potentially widespread emerging threat. Changes to information security compliance requirements. several updates and changes have been observed across various information security compliance frameworks. NIST continues to provide resources and updates for the Cybersecurity Framework, CSF 2.0. Recent activities include the release of quick start guides and a draft CSF profile for semiconductor manufacturing. CSF 2.0 emphasizes cybersecurity governance and supply chain risk management. The GLBA Safeguards Rule now requires financial institutions to report security events involving at least 500 consumers to the FTC within 30 days of discovery. This requirement became effective on May 13, 2024. Significant changes are proposed for the HIPAA security rule to enhance cybersecurity protections, including mandatory annual audits, encryption of electronic protected health information, EPHI, and more stringent risk analysis requirements. Comments on these proposed changes were due by March 7, 2025. Updates to the HIPAA privacy rule address the protection of reproductive healthcare information. PCI DSS is undergoing a transition to version 4.0 and 4.0.1. Key upcoming changes, with a deadline after March 31, 2025, include revised password policies, enhanced multi-factor authentication, MFA, and increased security for payment pages. Merchants using SAQA will see specific modifications to requirements related to payment page scripts, effective March 31, 2025. PCI DSS v 4.0 will be retired on December 31, 2024. While anticipated major regulatory changes for FERPA have been delayed until March 2027, resources and guidance for compliance continue to be available. The transition to ISO 27001:2022 is in progress, with a deadline of October 31, 2025, for organizations certified to the 2013 version. New certifications should already be to the 2022 standard, which includes significant changes to Annex A controls. Recent updates also address climate change considerations. The CMMC program is now live, with the final rule published in late 2024. Defense contractors handling FCI or CUI will need to achieve the appropriate CMMC level, with contractual implementation expected to begin in early to mid-2025. Other notable compliance developments include the EU's Digital Operational Resilience Act, DORA, effective January 2025, and the expansion of NIST 871 compliance requirements beyond the Department of Defense. The SEC's new cybersecurity rules for U.S.-listed companies, requiring incident reporting and enhanced risk management disclosures, are also significant. New penetration testing tools and techniques. Kali Linux, a leading platform for penetration testing, released version 2024.4, which includes 14 new tools. These tools cover a range of functionalities, including Active Directory privilege escalation, Bloodyad CERTI, Windows Forensic Artifact Analysis, Chainsaw, Domain Reconnaissance, FinDomain, Hex Analysis and Editing, Hexwalk, LinkedIn Username Generation, LinkedIn 2 Username, MSSQL Server Interaction, MSSQL Pubuner, Legacy SSH1 Protocol Support, OpenSSH SSH1, Router Control Frame Attack Detection, Proximoth, Isolated Python Package Execution, Python PIPX, Router OS Security Inspection, SARA, Web Cache Poisoning Testing, Web Cache Vulnerability Scanner, XSRF Auditing, XSRF Probe, and a graphical front-end for Nmap, ZenMap. Portswigger continues to update Burp Suite, a widely used web application security testing tool. Recent releases have introduced AI support to the Montoya API, allowing for the development of smarter extensions. Performance improvements have been made to site map filtering and CPU usage, and Burp Scanner now supports crawling sites that rely on WebSockets. Penetration testing techniques are evolving to address new challenges. Advanced techniques gaining prominence include AI-assisted penetration testing for automated vulnerability discovery cloud-native penetration testing for cloud environments, specialized testing for IoT and ICS devices, and advanced social engineering techniques leveraging AI. The adoption of Purple Team exercises, which involve collaboration between offensive and defensive security teams, is also increasing. Real-world vulnerability analysis and exploitation techniques are continuously being explored and documented by security researchers. New proof-of-concept exploits. Proof-of-concept (POC) exploits for various vulnerabilities have been released recently. Following the release of a POC exploit on January 27th, the SuperBlack ransomware was observed exploiting Fortinet vulnerabilities. POC exploits are also publicly available for critical vulnerabilities in Ivanti VPN products, CVE 2024-21887 and CVE 2023-46805, ScreenConnect, CVE 2024-1709 and CVE 2024-1708, and Beyond Trust Remote Support and Privileged Remote Access, CVE 2024-12356. On February 19, 2025, Horizon 3.ai released a proof-of-concept exploit for critical Ivanti EPM vulnerabilities, CVE 2024-10811, CVE 2024-13161, CVE 2024-13160, CVE 2024-13159, which had been patched by Ivanti in January. The release of POC exploits increases the risk of exploitation by malicious actors, emphasizing the need for timely patching. Security researchers also continue to analyze and document exploitation techniques for various vulnerabilities, as seen in the examples from Watchtower Labs for Palo Alto Global Protect and Fortinet FortiGate.